In today's programme, we meet a young couple who want to buy a house. They visit two different show houses and then compare the two. They visit a mortgage advisor to discuss the financial aspects of buying a house. And they talk about what might happen in the future. Would you rather rent a house or buy one? We hear a German point of view about renting or buying a house. And for interior decorating, Meet a Man is a do-it-yourself expert, as you might expect. Everyday English.
Yes, you're welcome to look round the show houses. No, you don't need an appointment. OK then, bye. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's all right.
How can I help?
Can you tell us about the development and the different houses?
Well, the Valley Park development has 4 types of properties. There are 1 and 2 bedroom starter homes, as well as 3 and 4 bedroom houses with garage and garden.
We'd quite like to look around the smaller ones.
You're first-time buyers, are you?
That's right.
At the moment, we live in a flat. We pay rent, but...
We feel we need to get a house of our own now.
The starter homes, as they are called, are very attractive.
But perhaps we should think about the larger one, with 3 bedrooms?
The 3 bedroom properties have separate lounge and dining room.
Let's have a look round now.
Fine.
If it's convenient.
Yes, of course.
A helping hand.
Bye.
First, some vocabulary for talking about houses.
How can I help?
Can you tell us about the development and the different houses?
Can you tell us about the development and the different houses? A development is an area of new houses. Usually, there is a show house complete with furniture, so the customers can see how it might look. A house or a flat of any kind is often called a property.
Well, the Valley Park development has 4 types of properties. There are 1 and 2 bedroom starter homes, as well as 3 and 4 bedroom houses with garage and garden.
Starter homes are small for first-time buyers. Then you have 3 and 4 bedroom homes. A flat is on 1 floor only, an apartment.
You're first-time buyers, are you?
That's right.
Young couples buying a house for the first time are often called first-time buyers.
At the moment, we live in a flat. We pay rent, but...
David and Janet live in a flat at the moment. They are tenants and they pay rent for the flat month by month, but...
We feel we need to get a house of our own now.
They feel they need to get a house of their own now.
That was the 2 bedroom property. What did you think?
It's lovely, but it's a bit small for us, isn't it, David?
I'll show you the larger one next. It has an extra room upstairs and downstairs. This is a dining room. And this is the lounge. It's south-facing, so it's nice and sunny.
This house is much better for us than the first one, David. It's not just the extra bedroom. All the rooms are bigger. It's more spacious. You see? Even the stairs. They're wider than the others.
This is the largest of the bedrooms, the master bedroom.
The measurements are 4.7 metres by 3.1.
Bedroom number 2.
This measures 3.35 by 2.28 metres.
And this is the bathroom.
I'd just like to have another look at the kitchen before we finish.
Of course.
I like the cabinets. They're rather nice.
Let's go in the garden and look around.
What do you think?
Oh, it's more expensive than the other. We'll have to go and talk about the financial side of it. The first house was certainly less spacious and less convenient. The extra space here will make all the difference to us.
Come on, let's get some financial advice.
A helping hand. This time, David and Janet are making comparisons between the two houses they have seen.
And this is the lounge.
This house is much better for us than the first one, David.
This house is much better for them than the first one. The comparative form of good is better. Better than the first one.
It's not just the extra bedroom. All the rooms are bigger. It's more spacious.
It's not just the extra bedroom. All the rooms are bigger. It's more spacious.
You see? Even the stairs. They're wider than the others.
Even the stairs. They're wider than the others.
This is the largest of the bedrooms, the master bedroom.
This is the largest of the bedrooms. When using a superlative, you can say the largest bedroom or the largest of the bedrooms. David is interested in the measurements. Listen again.
The measurements are 4.7 metres by 3.1.
The measurements are 4.7 metres by 3.1.
Bedroom number 2.
This measures 3.35 by 2.28 metres.
This measures 3.35 by 2.28 metres. And next, some more comparisons with more and with less.
What do you think?
Oh, it's more expensive than the other.
It's more expensive than the other.
The first house was certainly less spacious and less convenient.
It was less spacious and less convenient than the other one. Improve your fluency. Finally, improve your fluency with these phrases. A bit.
It's lovely, but it's a bit small for us, isn't it, David?
The house is a bit small for them. And rather.
I like the cabinets. They're rather nice.
I like the cabinets. They're rather nice. Specialised English. David and Janet will have to borrow money to buy their house. They can borrow money from a bank or from a building society. This is called a home loan, or more often, a mortgage. They talk to a mortgage advisor about taking out a mortgage. First, they must fill in some forms, giving information about their financial situation.
Morning, David and Janet.
Morning.
Thank you for filling in these forms. You saw 2 show houses, didn't you? Have you decided yet?
Yes, we've definitely decided. We want the larger one, the 3-bedroom house, if we can afford it, that is.
Let me see. The asking price is...
£60,000.
I see.
A helping hand. Now, a helping hand with the financial side of buying a house. There is some more new vocabulary.
Have you decided yet?
Yes, we've definitely decided. We want the larger one, the 3-bedroom house, if we can afford it, that is.
If we can afford it, that means if we can find the money.
Let me see. The asking price is...
£60,000.
The asking price is, of course, what the company is asking for the house, but usually the buyer tries to negotiate a better price. Improve your fluency. Here's an important way to improve your fluency, using phrasal verbs.
Thank you for filling in these forms.
Thank you for filling in these forms. Notice that you fill in a form. That's called a phrasal verb. A verb, fill, with a particle, in, fill in a form.
So you want to know how much you can borrow? That's the next question.
Yes, that's the important question.
My advice is don't borrow too much. Let's see, £50,000 maximum? That will be 2.25 times your 2 salaries.
What would the monthly repayment be on that sum?
Well, it depends. But let's see, about £350 per month, not more.
A helping hand.
So you want to know how much you can borrow? That's the next question.
Yes, that's the important question.
They want to know how much they can borrow, and the advice is...
My advice is don't borrow too much.
Don't borrow too much.
Let's see, £50,000 maximum? That will be 2.25 times your 2 salaries.
2.25 times your salary. Your salary is the money you receive from your job. And now Janet has a question.
What would the monthly repayment be on that sum?
What would the monthly repayment be?
Well, it depends. But let's see, about £350 per month, not more.
The monthly repayment would be about £350 per month.
What would happen if one of us lost our job, or was made redundant? Or, well, suppose we started a family and I stopped working. What would happen then?
We can offer you insurance against accident, sickness or redundancy. But if you decided to start a family, and if you wanted to give up work, well, you would still have to pay the mortgage every month.
You mean we have to think about that now?
That's right. Now's the time. You must decide if you can afford it.
A helping hand. Here's a helping hand again. Janet is thinking about the future, imagining possible problems. This is another type of conditional sentence.
What would happen if one of us lost our job, or was made redundant?
What would happen if one of us lost our job? What would happen if one of us was made redundant?
Well, suppose we started a family. What would happen then?
Suppose we started a family. Here, suppose means imagine and takes the place of what would happen if.
And I stopped working. What would happen then?
Suppose I stopped working. What would happen then? And the answer?
We can offer you insurance against accident, sickness or redundancy.
They can insure against accident, sickness or redundancy.
But if you decided to start a family, and if you wanted to give up work, well, you would still have to pay the mortgage every month.
But if they decided to start a family, and if she wanted to give up work, they would still have to pay the mortgage every month.
You must decide if you can afford it.
They must decide if they can afford it. A personal view.
At £25,000, I've got 26,000 in the back row, 27 it's against you.
An unusual way of buying and selling houses is by auction.
£20,000, 1752 is 40 to £20,000.
Sophie Dunker, a teacher from Hamburg in Germany, has gone along to the auction just to see what happens there.
9 on my right, 29.5.
Sophie has been living in England for 5 years, but she plans to return to Germany in the future, so she is not certain if she wants to buy a house in England.
I've never been to a property auction at all. They're quite unusual in Germany, and when I heard about this one, I was quite interested in it. I think I would always try and rent a house, but I think if I knew that I was staying in England, I would try and start thinking about buying something, because the renting, the places you can rent are quite of quite a low quality. They're not very attractive.
She finds the British habit of buying a house a big contrast to what most people in Germany like to do. There are many sayings in English which reflect the tradition, like an Englishman's home is his castle.
It is part of the tradition in England to own your own property. My home is my castle, I think, is one of those sayings in the English language. Which shows how important it is for an Englishman to have a house.
To have a roof over your head is another saying.
A roof over your head is important, but for me it is not linked to buying a house. It would be linked to finding an attractive flat which is within my means, which is within my walking or short driving distance from my job, that sort of thing.
Yours from House 1784.
And if you say that something is as safe as houses, you mean it is very safe indeed, especially from a financial point of view.
Want to go another 5? No?
As safe as houses is another one. I don't think houses are particularly safe. There's subsidence, there's inflation, there's storms, hurricanes, and I don't know what. I would always try and open a savings account rather than buy a house, if I had the choice.
If you rent a house or a flat in Britain, you do not have as much security as you might wish for. One of the reasons could be that the contract, or lease, is often for a short period of time.
The rented flats I've come across now here in England are always short-term contracts, which means that you have to renew the contract every year or every 2 years or something like that. So you never get that feeling of security. There doesn't seem to be much point in buying furniture, for example, for a rented flat you're living in, because you may expect to have to move in 2 or 3 years' time, and you would then have to pay quite a high price for moving the furniture again. It may not fit into your new flat or house. So it's very risky, and you would always try and look at a rented flat as a short-term solution before you get round to buying something.
Sophie thinks that tenants in rented property in Germany are more secure.
You're covered by the law to quite a high degree in Germany. If you have lived in a rented flat for a period of time, 5 years or more, it's very difficult for the owner of the flat to get rid of you.
Walk down any high street in England and you will see the large number of estate agents with all kinds of properties for sale.
It's very unusual in Germany to have that density of estate agents, first of all, in a high street. And it's also unusual to have estate agents which are open to the public, like shops are. An estate agent in Germany would have a closed office, and you would have to ring up in advance, and they would probably give you an appointment. The reason for that is probably that there isn't such a mobile market for buying houses as there is in England.
Let's hope that, if she does decide to buy, Sophie finds her dream house.
This is a very fine store. Do it all. It sells everything for the do-it-yourself expert like me. Paint. Roller. Brushes. Glass paper. And most importantly of all, wallpaper. Now, where's the paste? We English love to spend our bank holidays redecorating our houses. A bank holiday is what you would call a public holiday. But this bank holiday, I shall be working my fingers to the bone. That's one of our little sayings, working my fingers to the bone. This is a large 5-bedroomed house, and one of those bedrooms I'm going to transform today. Good morning, my dear. Is the room ready?
Yes, we're all ready for you.
Thank you. Sorry.
There's something I'd just like to point out to you.
Madam, I am a professional. I've done this sort of thing before. It's perfectly straightforward. Now, leave it to me. Oh dear. Perfectly straightforward. 8'6" high. Oh, I should give it to you in metric, shouldn't I? 260 centimetres by about 3 metres wide. Brighter. She will be pleased. Excuse me, my dear. Could I just point out to you that I will be requiring my 11s today at 11 o'clock precisely?
How's it going? Can I come and see?
No. You must wait until I've finished. Patience and calm, my dear.
As I said before, there is something I'd like to point out to you.
The trouble is, my dear, you've painted this room in the wrong colour. I am an expert in colours, and the psychology of the human mind. Now, if you painted it in green, for example, you would feel calm and relaxed. If, on the other hand, you painted it in yellow, you would be happy and cheerful. Well, I can't stand around here talking to you all day. I have work to do.
But I would like to show you something.
Patience, my dear. And calm. Think about painting the kitchen green. All right.
It's precisely 11 o'clock. Tea?
Come in, my dear. I've just finished.
Of all the deceitful confidence tricksters I've ever met, this is a disgraceful example of what a disgusting mess! You can just get out of my house before I... Oh!
Madam, you are most ungrateful. I shall go downstairs and read the meter.
The meter is upstairs!
Madam, I am a professional. I know my meters. Once seen, never forgotten.
Well, that's exactly what I've been trying to tell you about, idiot. But you wouldn't listen to me. You've completely forgotten where the meter is. You've covered it completely with paper.
Silly old me.
Use your eyes. If you want to buy a house in England, the High Street is a good place to start looking. You don't have to look far to see estate agents offering properties of all different kinds for sale. There are stately country homes or picturesque cottages to start you thinking of your dream home. From a more practical point of view, a modern development offers newly built properties. There are terraced houses, each one joined to the other, or semi-detached, that's two houses together. Sheltered housing for old people, flats and apartments. If you're taking out a mortgage, you need to know the rate of interest. Use your eyes and look in the windows of banks, building societies, and their advertisements in the newspapers. There will be a lot of work to do once you have bought your house. And there are magazines which are full of ideas to show you how to turn the dream into reality. Will you ask a professional painter and decorator to do the job? Or are you a do-it-yourself expert? If DIY is your choice, then there are stores where you can buy everything you need. For bathrooms and kitchens, all kinds of lighting, from chandeliers and candelabra to wall lights and table lamps, and as many lampshades as you want. Don't forget the paint and, of course, brushes and rollers. Tiles for the kitchen and the bathroom. Whatever your taste in houses and interior decorating, good luck. You'll find all the usual exercises, grammar and vocabulary in the student's book. Next week, we're going to East Anglia, to the county of Suffolk, where the painter John Constable lived some 200 years ago. We'll be visiting the places that he painted. Come with us then to Constable Country.